Hi y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Some Fashionista, and here we talk about fashion, lifestyle, current events, relationships, all the things. You never know what you're going to get when you hit that play button, okay? But you will be guaranteed to have a good time and a couple key keys along the way. Now, if you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. I hope you decide to stick around, watch the video, look at some others, and I hope you ultimately decide to support the channel by subscribing. It's free, y'all. For my supporters, thank you all for all of your comments, your likes, your shares, your views. It means the world. I really appreciate it. And as you know, I'm trying to do more and do better, okay? So for this particular video, I'm going to be yapping basically. And I just kind of want to just say a few things that I've been thinking about regarding this B. Simone situation, okay? All right, y'all. So just to kind of get you a little up to speed, if you're not familiar with the B. Simone situation. So B. Simone had a podcast where she was talking to her best friend about life situations, right? And the best friend shared that there was a time that she was not financially stable and that, she had to get on welfare. She had to move in with her parents. Her car got repossessed. And she was just saying how she was looking at B. Simone, her best friend, like giving money to people who were in need, but yet she did not do that for the best friend. And the best friend was saying that, she does not have any resentment towards B. Simone for, what happened in that moment, right? And so I guess for me, it just seems like, okay, this is a little sidebar, but to me, it's like, okay, did you even ask her for any funds? I don't think that she did, because the way that conversation went, the pieces that I saw, it was like, you didn't ask her for any, she didn't tell you no. So why would you be resentful to her if you never asked her for any money? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I just feel like when you go through things, it makes you a better person sometimes. You get those skill sets sharpened that you need in order to be successful, in order to get through whatever that issue was, right? And it also gives you the ability to have the wisdom to be able to help someone behind you get through that same situation. You know what I'm saying? It also might help you not get back in that situation. So it just depends on how you look at it. But I really can't fault B. Simone for not helping her friend if she didn't know. And maybe she did. I mean, I don't know. But I digress. So in this conversation, B. Simone ends up sharing about how, she does not have the money that she's accustomed to having in her bank account. Like, it's not liquid. Like, she has the, I guess, she has the value, if you will, in, say, her jewelry and other things, but she doesn't have it where she can spend it. It's not liquid, as she said. And so a lot of people on this here internet have been roasting her because she made comments in the past about not wanting to date a man with a 9-to-5 job, that he needed to be an entrepreneur. And she did explain that a fellow entrepreneur would better understand, her work ethic, her drive, her schedule, basically. Okay. Now, I believe a lot of people are butthurt by that 9-to-5 comment that she made, because a lot of people, the majority of society, work 9-to-5 jobs, right? And as you all should know by now, when people don't like you, they can pretend to like you sometimes. But when you show a hint of not on your game, they're going to put you in your place. They're going to try to anyway. They're going to try to do that. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all, when I had went off to college, right? And I worked at a fast food restaurant my last 2 years of high school. And so when I was getting ready to go off to college, the manager said, hey, would you like to be able to come back during the breaks to earn money? I was like, yes, definitely. Because the way I had it set up is that whatever money I had accrued during my time working is what I used during the semester to live off of. Between that and my refund checks, and my mom gave me, a few dollars, every week too, in my account. So that's how I made ends meet, during the year. When I came back for the first break, had to be Christmas, This coworker of mine, young man, I see his face. I just don't know his name, nor would I say it on this platform. But he was like, "Oh yeah, he was at the grill cooking a burger or something," and he was like, "Oh yeah, be careful what you say because you never know when you got to eat your words and things like that." And I was like trying to understand what is he talking about. But he was like, "Yeah, you're back here with us. You're saying you weren't gonna be coming back." And I'm like, what is he talking about? I always knew I was coming back because I was going to come back and work on the breaks. And I did that. But that just showed me that this man was upset, I guess, maybe jealous, maybe hurt. What y'all think? Because I think that because I was able to go off to college and he was still back in our town working, that maybe he had some resentment. But, let me just say this to y'all. I knew at a very young age what I wanted to do, with my life. I knew I wanted to leave my parents' house and go to college. So when I tell y'all I would go with my mom to her job and then walk to the public library and I would sit there and do practice tests out of the ACT and SAT books, I was doing that for years, okay? When I tell you that when I worked, I used my money to pay for those ACT and SAT tests, and all those applications to go to colleges, I did that. Yes, I did. Because I knew what I wanted to do. I made sure that I got the scores I needed to get in order to get the scholarships that I got. So I would have no reason to not be able to afford to go to college. That is what I put in place for myself at a very early age. Like I wasn't playing any games about this. So I don't know what he had going on, but I knew what I had going on and what I had done to be able to go where I want to get to in life. Sidebar on that. But all I'm saying to say on this is that people will always be on the sidelines ready to point out your flaws and put you in your place. And that's kind of what's going on when it comes to be Simone here. I'm not going to sit here and bash her because that's not what I'm about. I'm just going to speak about some themes that came to me as I was listening and looking into her situation overall. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's kind of the gist. Like I said, the best friend had financial issues. Simone did not help. Then she shared her issues and how, she was in Bloomingdale's and was like, you know what, I need to go to H&M. Apparently she could not afford what she needed to afford out of the Bloomingdale store. So she had to go or needed to go to H&M to purchase whatever she needed to purchase, basically, right? So this is the thing. So what the first thing that came to mind to me is appearances, right? I think that when people get to a certain level or at any level, you have your own idea of what you should look like when you've arrived at this particular point in life. And maybe for her, because she's a millionaire or whatever her net worth was, she felt she should be at Bloomingdale shopping and not at an H&M. Okay. So that is one thing. Appearances. A lot of times people want to portray themselves as something that they may not quite be yet. I understand you need to dress for the job you want, but you don't need to break the bank. You don't need to put yourself in a financial bind trying to do something that you're not in a position to do. And I'm not saying that was her. I'm just saying that just in general. You know what I'm saying? What I would say is that Miss Candy Burris from Escape, Housewives of Atlanta, to me, she is an astute businesswoman. And I watched the Housewives of Atlanta show for many, many seasons. And what I learned about her from just watching the show and from seeing things, from social media, is that Miss Candy Burris, she made her money when she was young. She bought her a nice house and she stayed in that house for years. She didn't buy another house until she got ready to get married to her current husband, right? So that just tells me, you know what? She was very wise with her money and her investments. You know what I'm saying? Like, she bought this house when she was young. Although she was making lots and lots and lots of money over the years, she still maintained that status quo level of living. And when she was ready, she went and got the bigger house. You know what I'm saying? So she made sure that she was planning and in position to do what she wanted to do. You know, she has all kinds of lines of income. You know, she had the show, she had her clothing stores, she has the restaurants, you know, she has the Broadway plays, you know, she has the toy line, I think some other things too. Candy keep a check. So all I'm saying is that she ensured that before she made any big investments, that she had all of her financial things in a stable order, basically, right? So that's what I like about her and what she did, because she didn't, you know, elevate her lifestyle per se to match what her income was. She still lived nicely, and she was able to save and pocket, you know what I'm saying, that money. That's a good point, right? So let me just say this to you. The next thing is about lifestyle creep. And to me, that kind of plays into what I was saying about, you know, Miss Candy Burris. Her lifestyle did not creep with her income level. You know what I'm saying? She's living good, but she's not, you know, she's not like neck and neck expenses and income. It's not that. I'm sure of that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Miss B Simone here, you know, from what she said in her podcast, she was saying that she has an app for women that she's working on, and she did an investment in it. So apparently she must have invested her own personal cash into this app opportunity. And so now what she's seeing in her bank account isn't what she's used to seeing. Not sure why she didn't do like a loan or had investors, but that's what she chose to do. So what I will say to you is that with anything, if you are about to make a significant financial investment with your liquid cash, basically, you should automatically assume like, hey, it would be for me an automatic. I need to like, you know, cut back on spending, because at this stage right now, I'm grinding. I'm trying to get this app off the ground or this endeavor. So I need to make sure that I'm focusing my resources on my necessities. You know what I'm saying? So to me, if I was investing in this app and I'm using my money and it's a significant amount, I'm not going to be shopping at Bloomingdale's. And if I do, it's going to be for very special occasions. I'm going to be shopping at all these other stores. Let me tell y'all, when I started working out of college, I made like $30,000 a year, around that. And I was shopping at like Express, the New York & Company, which is now, yeah, it was called Lerner back then, but New York & Company, the Limited, Old Navy. I still shop at these stores if they still, you know, if they're still in business, right? So I did not allow, you know, my income, which my income has multiplied substantially since I first started working, you know, in the corporate America world, right? But I'm still wearing like some of the same things. Now, what I will tell you is that I do splurge and I buy some more higher end things that I want, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like everything I buy. Like, I'm not above going to H&M. I'm not above going to Express or whoever else, right? So, and I'm not saying that she said that, but I'm just saying, like, I still go to all these different stores. I mean, I will go and spend, you know, $300 on a pair of shoes if I want to, if I really like them. You know what I'm saying? It just depends, right? But everything is not going to be very expensive. You know what I'm saying? So you can still look nice and look good, you know what I'm saying, on an H&M budget, okay? But let me just say this to y'all. Let me just say this. I just think that, how do I phrase this? I think I got off track, but I'm gonna just jump back on and we're gonna keep it rocking, right? What I would say to you is this. You know, I think that with the lifestyle creep, I think that, like I said, it kind of goes back hand in hand with the appearances, where you gotta be wearing certain brands, certain labels, and if you're not wearing those things, then you done fell off. It's kind of what some people think. I don't think that, but everybody's different. Everybody has different confidence levels. Like for me, I had a 1996 Camry. My dad gave me that car the December before I graduated college. Okay. And he was like, you know what? Here's the car. When you buy a new car, when you start working, bring me back this one. Y'all, I kept that car until the wheels fell off. My dad was like, wait a minute, you still got that car? I said, yes, sir. I had that car up until 2020. And the only reason why I don't have that car to this day is because my car got totaled. I was in a car accident and it got totaled. But I kept that car in good condition. I had my mechanic. Hey, Tyrone, if you're watching, he kept my car running and he kept me on the road. Yes. And people would see my car and say, wait a minute, I would not have thought that you would drive that. You had something more fancier. Ma'am, I'm on that no car note. I had no car note. I was great. I could care less what somebody thought about me in the car I was driving. Could care less. Didn't care at all, actually. I was not concerned about anybody's perception of me when it came to what I was driving. I was only concerned about my own financial landscape, okay? I had no car note. I was living good. It was great. Then I had to get a car note, so I had to make some adjustments. But anyway, y'all, I have a friend that's a millionaire, and if you saw him, you would not think that he had money. He wears jeans, golf shirt, comfortable tennis shoes, glasses. That's all you see. He's like 6'3", I think. That's all you see. You would think this man ain't got no money. He ain't no millionaire. Oh, but he is. Oh yeah. And I've been blessed to where he's giving me advice, along the way. I met him like in 2011. So gave me lots of great advice and great person. But I'm just saying, like, when you look at him, you wouldn't think he's a millionaire. So he's not out here, flashy. Now, when he got to go to a meeting or something, he got the suits. He got the shoes, baby. He going to put it on for you. But he not wearing it like that every day. He's not wearing, like, his money on him, if that makes sense. So a lot of people that got money, they not around here boasting it with all this designer and all that. They may have some, but it's not like plastered on them, if that makes sense. It's on that less is more type of kit because they got their money in what? Their bank accounts. In their properties. You know what I'm saying? In their investments. That's where they got their money at, if that makes sense. So the last thing I want to talk about is that, you can look good on any budget. Okay, y'all. So a lot of you guys not, I kid you not, I would go to Goodies and spend like $30 and I would have a big bag full of stuff. My brother was like, how is she doing that? Because he was buying like Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, Chaps, whatever. And he would get like maybe one or two things. But I'm spending less money and getting more things, right? And one of my friends was telling me that basically I understood price and quality. I said, that's profound. Because that's exactly what it was. Because I was not paying a lot of money. I mean, I bought stuff on sale. Why buy it regular and get it for the sale price? You know what I'm saying? Why buy it regular and get it for the sale price? Exactly. So like this shirt I have on, I got this shirt maybe 10, 15 years ago from the Limited. It still look good. I got compliments on this shirt today while I was at work. On the whole outfit, actually. I'll pop a picture for you. And it's like, when you know how to shop, you can go to any of these stores and get nice things. Like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington Coat. These are the stores, honey. They got lots of nice things. And you got to look for it. They got nice things in there. Okay? Macy's, JCPenney, even Target got cute clothes. Like, you can get nice things and put that on. I do it all the time. Check out my Get Ready With Me's. Check that out. Every day I go to work, I get compliments from the men and the women on the outfits, from the hat down to the shoes, every day. And I'm wearing things I've had for years. And that's why it's important to maintain your weight so that you can continue to wear things, beyond, right now. You can continue to wear it because, oh, well, I like it. So I'm going to put this on. You can remix it, rewear it, do a lot with it. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my whole thing is this. A lot of people feel like, you know what? If I buy from this high-end store, that means I'm fashionable. No, ma'am. You just bought from a high-end store. Doesn't mean it's going to look good. I've seen people buy like the most expensive things, and I was like, you know what, that is not cute. But they spent all this money on it. Like, okay, you spent a lot of money, doesn't mean that it's a nice looking item, if that makes sense. Like, you just spent a lot of money, but it's not hidden like you think it's hidden. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's what I got on that, y'all. So you can look nice and not spend a lot of money. I mean, I stay buying things out of Amazon. You see the videos. I stay buying things out of H&M, Shein, Fashion Nova. I buy what I look good in. And the people who see me, they don't know where I got it from. They know I look nice. And I inspire them to wear color to the office or to wear nicer things to the workplace. I inspire y'all. So many women. A lady today told me she's retiring next year around this time and said she wants me to help her get her wardrobe together. I said, I'll be here. Just let me know. I'll help you do that. I sure will. Because she don't know how to dress. Either you're going to pay somebody, you can go online and look at videos, whatever. But, for me, I have no problem helping people. Another lady I work with, she was getting ready to take her official photo. And she wanted some ideas on how to dress for the picture. So we chatted it up. I said, yeah, wear you a nice blazer, pearl necklace, pop a color with the blouse, cute earrings, have your hair done, do some nice makeup. And, she don't look like that all the time. But for this picture, you need to do it big for the picture. You know what I'm saying? Let me get off this. But anyway, y'all, my point is this. A lot of things are going on in that video with Miss B. Simone and her friend. But it's really on B. Simone and how she views herself when it comes to, her status in life. Why she had to be so dramatic about having to shop at H&M. It is not the end of the world, ma'am. It is not. And if you're still able to shop, you're not that broke. Because if you're broke, you're basically barely able to make ends meet, or you can't make it meet at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to be thankful for what we are able to do at the end of the day, right? Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, why not? Just go and do that. It's free. Help us sister out. Okay? But anyway, y'all, I'm going to continue trying to work on videos and put things out. I'm going to do more talking videos. We'll see what I'm able to come up with. If you got any ideas, put them in the chat for me. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.